Have you ever been the new kid? Have you been on the outside looking in to some fun event or opportunity or even people? When you were the new kid or new person, did you feel sad, anxiety? Maybe you felt happy or excited. Maybe you even felt shy. When I was in the fourth grade, I had a lot of these feelings. I felt sad because the elementary school that I'd been attending in my hometown was closed. And I felt anxiety because I had to ride the bus 7 miles to a larger place and a larger school. I felt happy because there were friends of mine that were in my class. And I think all of us feel these feelings at time to time when there's something new that we're experiencing. I remember going out to recess and a whole bunch of kids were playing and somebody wanted to play basketball, so they went and got a ball. Two people were going to be the team captains, Jeff Jackson and Lance Terrell. And the rest of us lined up. And we lined up so that there was space between us so they could get a good look at us. Now, why did we want to be picked? Well, for two reasons. One, if you got picked, you got to play basketball. And two, if you got picked, you were picked. I wanted to be picked because I wanted to know that someone wanted me. Well, Jeff picked first, and he picked Darren. Lance picked Stacy. Jeff picked Troy. Lance picked somebody I didn't know. Jeff picked Russ. Russ was the same size as me. Lance picked Vance, his twin brother. Jeff, last pick for Jeff. And he picked, come on, Jeff. He picked me. Yeah, all right. And then Lance picked Ernie. We went out and we played basketball. A few days later, I was hustling out to the playground at recess, and I saw my oldest friend in the hall in tears. His name was Russell Adams. Russell, what's the matter? I never get picked for anything. And I had an epiphany. When I was picked, I was only worried about myself and whether or not I was going to get picked and how far down the line I was going to get picked. And I never thought about the people who hadn't been picked. And as a matter of fact, Russell was short and unathletic, and he was never picked. Well, I went to recess with Russell and we played on the playground. But Russell had some skills. His father was a horse trainer, and Russell was always involved in horses. And over the next 2 years, Russell became really good at breaking horses. He would take young horses that were wild and not used to people and saddles. He would gentle them down and he would get them used to him, and then he would break them into being ridden. He was riding one such horse through a shallow but wide ditch, back and forth, back and forth. And as he turned to go back through, something spooked the horse. The horse reared up and caught Russell by surprise. He fell off of the horse. He broke his neck, and Russell died. I went to his funeral, and I was interested to see that there was a whole team of baseball players in their little league game uniforms. And I thought that looked kind of strange. But then I learned that Spunky Johnson's father had included Russell in the little league team. And they were there to be the pallbearers. I felt bad that I'd lost my friend, but I felt good for him because he had been picked. He knew that someone wanted him. Speaking of baseball, have you seen the movie Sandlot. And you've got Scotty Smalls, moves into the town new, is out playing with his new stepdad, playing catch, and his stepdad throws the ball and it hits him in the eye. He comes in the house. I hate baseball. A couple of days later, one of the local kids, who's a baseball natural, very athletic, but about the same age, comes riding his bike by and he sees Scotty Smalls standing outside and he says, hey, we're down a guy and was wondering if you would like to come and play baseball with us. He perks right up. Yes! And so Benny Rodriguez looks at him and says, do you have a hat? And he goes in the house and he comes out with this like fishing hat, and it's a cap, but it's got a brim like out to here. And Benny kind of smiles and he says, I've got an old cap that you can borrow, and gave it to him. Have you got a ball mitt? And he says, yes. And he runs inside and he gets his stepdad's mitt, which is a first baseman's mitt, which looks more like a catcher's mitt than a regular baseball glove. Benny smiles again and he says, I've got an old one that you can use. Come on. And he took him down to the Sandlot, and there he met the rest of the guys, and they had a wonderful summer. Now, who was Benny Rodriguez to Scotty Smalls? He was a hero. He included him. We all want to know that we are wanted. I've got a couple of be inclusive techniques I'd like to share with you. One's called open the circle. So if you're standing in a group in a circle talking, and somebody comes wandering around the outside edge, kind of listening in, see if there's anything interesting being said, what you can do is take a step with the foot that's closest to the person, step backwards, and open up that circle so that there's a spot for them to join in. Open the circle, that's the first technique. The second technique is a basic introduction. If you see someone who's alone and they've not got an earbud in talking on the phone, go up to them and just say, hi, what's your name? And after they tell you their name, tell them yours. Make an introduction of yourself and anyone who's with you. It's a basic introduction. These two techniques will help people feel included. And we all want to know that we're wanted. Thank you.